We're counting down the 20 grocery items you should never buy anywhere but Aldi if you want to maximize your savings, from everyday pantry staples and family favorite snacks to household basics and some surprising big ticket essentials. This list exposes exactly where markups and brand premiums quietly drain your wallet, even when other stores claim big sales. Which category will shock you as the biggest source of annual overspending? Let's break it down, starting with number 20. Number 20 starts with a breakfast staple that seems simple but quietly drains your wallet when you skip the price math: cereal. Aldi's Millville brand comes in at about 12 cents per ounce, while name brands like Cheerios run 18 to 22 cents per ounce, even after advertised sales. That's a 22% gap on something most families buy every week. The nutrition labels line up almost exactly, with similar whole grain content and no artificial flavors. For a typical box, the savings add up over the course of a year just by reaching for the private label instead of the national brand. It's a small change that sets the tone for bigger savings ahead, showing how paying attention to unit price at Aldi can put real money back in your pocket, one bowl at a time. Number 19 brings peanut butter into the spotlight, a pantry staple where the savings quietly pile up. Aldi's Simply Nature peanut butter sits at about 15 cents per ounce, while jars from Jif or Skippy at other stores often run 20 to 25 cents per ounce. That is a 25% gap every time you spread a sandwich or whip up a batch of cookies. The label tells another story: just peanuts and salt, with no added sugar or palm oil, matching the cleanest versions you will find elsewhere. Small as that per ounce difference might seem, it adds up fast for families who go through a jar or two a month. Sticking with Aldi here means those little savings start to snowball, reinforcing the habit of always checking the unit price before tossing any staple into your cart. Number 18 brings jam and fruit spreads into focus, a spot where the savings are just as sweet as the product itself. Aldi's jars typically cost about 23% less per ounce than the familiar brands lining other grocery shelves. That gap holds steady whether you are reaching for classic strawberry or branching out to fancier flavors. The ingredient lists match up closely, with sugar and fruit content nearly identical, so you are not sacrificing taste or nutrition to save a few bucks. For families who go through a jar every month, the annual savings sneak up fast. When you add jam to the breakfast lineup alongside Aldi's cereal and peanut butter, the bundled savings really start to stack up, making the case for sticking with Aldi on all the key parts of your morning routine. Number 17 brings chips into the snack spotlight, and this is where Aldi's Clancy's brand quietly outpaces the competition. Take a look at the bag size first. Clancy's regularly offers a 14-ounce pack, while most national brands sit at 13 ounces or less. That extra ounce might seem small, but it means a lower price per ounce right out of the gate. On average, Clancy's chips come in about 18% cheaper per ounce than the big names, even after factoring in the flashy sale tags at other stores. For anyone who packs lunches or hosts game day gatherings, those savings add up fast, making it clear that when it comes to chips, Aldi's shelf is the one to reach for if you want more snack without the surcharge. Number 16 turns attention to cookies, and this is where the numbers behind the snack aisle get a little sneaky. Benton's, Aldi's private label cookie brand, quietly packs about 17% more cookies into each package for the same regular price you would pay for a smaller national brand box at other stores. While other grocers love to slap on buy one get one free tags or flashy sales, and the math rarely works out in your favor. Those deals often use smaller packs or higher base prices, leaving you with less cookie for your dollar. At Aldi, the shelf price on Benton's is the real deal, no coupon required. The extra quantity means you are not just saving on price, but actually getting more to share at home, without falling for the illusion of a sale that does not really save you anything. Number 15 highlights granola bars, a lunchbox staple where Aldi's price advantage is hard to ignore. At 35 cents per bar, Aldi's packs are about 19% cheaper than the 45 to 55 cents per bar you will pay at most other stores. That gap adds up quickly for families packing snacks every school day. Aldi's bars keep pace on nutrition too, offering similar protein and fiber to the big name brands, so you are not trading health for savings. When you break it down by the count, the difference is clear. Over a month of lunches, sticking with Aldi means you keep a few extra dollars in your pocket without sacrificing convenience or quality. For anyone managing daily routines and snack time budgets, this is one item that makes the case for always checking the per-count math before you buy elsewhere. Number 14 brings crackers into the pantry spotlight, a simple snack that hides bigger savings than most shoppers realize. Aldi's private label boxes line up almost exactly with national brands on net weight, so you're not getting less for your money. What stands out is the ingredient list. Aldi's crackers often skip the extra preservatives and artificial flavors, sticking to the basics like wheat, oil, and salt. The real difference shows up at the register. On average, Aldi's crackers run about 14% cheaper per ounce than the same size box at Walmart or Kroger, even before any coupons or sales. Blind taste tests find the texture and crunch nearly identical, so there is no trade-off on quality. For anyone who packs lunches or stocks up for parties, swapping to Aldi for crackers is an easy pantry upgrade that keeps both your shelf and your wallet full. Number 13 brings baking mixes into the spotlight, and this is where Aldi's Baker's Corner brand quietly outperforms the big names on both price and practicality. Instead of focusing on the sticker price alone, look at what you actually get out of each box. When you break it down by the number of muffins, brownies, or pancakes a single mix produces, Aldi's cost per finished serving is about 29% lower than the national brands, even before any coupons or sales. Most of that savings comes from simple packaging and direct sourcing, so you're not paying extra for a flashy box or a famous logo. For home bakers who go through a couple of mixes each month, that yield-based math means real savings by the end of the year. It is a pantry staple where the batch cost tells the whole story. Number 12 brings frozen vegetables into the spotlight, challenging the idea that fresh always means cheaper or better. At Aldi, a bag of frozen broccoli or mixed vegetables typically costs about 27% less per pound than the same amount from Walmart or Kroger's freezer cases. That price gap holds steady without waiting for a sale, and the savings add up quickly for families who rely on freezer staples for weeknight meals. Texture and taste tests Kissen put Aldi's Season's Choice vegetables on par with national brands, and studies show that freezing actually locks in nutrients at peak freshness. So you are not just saving money, you are getting greens that measure up in both quality and nutrition. For anyone looking to stretch their produce budget without sacrificing taste or vitamins, Aldi's frozen section is the first place to start. Number 11 brings frozen pizza into focus, and this is where Aldi's Mama Cozzi's brand quietly changes the math on family meals. While most grocery store pizzas top out at 12 inches, Mama Cozzi's serves up a full 16-inch pie, meaning more slices, more toppings, and a bigger dinner for less money. The price per pizza at Aldi averages 31% lower than the national brands, even before you factor in the extra size. Taste tests put the topping ratio and crust quality right in line with big names, but the real difference shows up in the cart. More pizza for less cash, week after week. For families trying to stretch a budget without sacrificing Friday night tradition, this is one frozen aisle swap that pays off every single time. Number 10 puts frozen chicken under the microscope, a protein staple where Aldi's pricing leaves the competition behind. At $2.50 per pound for their private label bags, you are looking at a 32% discount compared to the $3.70 per pound you will find at most supermarkets. That difference is not just a fluke on sale weeks. It holds steady, Whether you are stocking up on plain chicken breasts or the popular breaded tenders that have become a freezer favorite for quick lunches and wraps. The labels spell out the story, same net weight, similar breading, and clear processing information. For families who rely on frozen chicken for weeknight meals, that per-pound savings adds up fast, making it one of the smartest protein swaps you can make. With sides like frozen fries waiting in the next aisle, the cost-cutting combo only gets stronger. Number 9 brings frozen fries into the spotlight, a side dish that quietly multiplies savings with every meal. Aldi's private label frozen fries come in about 35% cheaper per serving than the big brands, and that gap sticks whether you are baking up a sheet pan or dropping them in the air fryer. The real trick is in the serving yield. Aldi's bags often contain more fries by weight, so you are getting extra portions for the same price. Salt and oil content match up closely to the national brands, so you are not cutting corners on flavor or crispiness. For families who serve fries as a regular side, the savings add up fast, especially when you factor in how often frozen sides sneak onto the dinner table. It is a simple swap that keeps more in your grocery budget, setting up even bigger wins as the list moves into the dairy aisle. Number 8 brings cheese slices into the dairy spotlight. This is a place where the price math gets surprisingly sharp. At Aldi, you'll find their private label slices at about 20 cents per ounce compared to 25 cents or more at most supermarkets. That's a solid 20% savings every time you build a sandwich or melt up a classic grilled cheese. But the difference isn't just in cost. Aldi slices pass the melt test with flying colors, delivering the same creamy texture and stretch as the big name brands. Fat content and ingredient lists line up closely, so you're not making any trade-offs on quality or taste. For anyone who buys cheese slices regularly, this is an easy switch that keeps both your wallet and your lunch routine in good shape, setting the stage for even more dairy savings ahead. Number 7 brings butter into the dairy spotlight, a staple that quietly drives up baking costs if you skip the price math. At Aldi, a standard stick of butter runs about 20 cents per ounce, while the same salted or unsalted pack at Walmart or Kroger averages 24 cents per ounce. That is a solid 15% savings every time you pick up a 4-stick box, and the difference shows up fast in recipes that call for half a pound or more. Whether you are baking cookies, browning a pan, or just spreading it on toast, the per-ounce gap adds up over the course of a month. For home cooks who go through a couple of boxes each month, sticking with Aldi for butter keeps the cost of homemade treats in check, making it a smart swap for anyone watching their baking budget. Number 6 brings string cheese into focus, a snack that surprises even the most loyal brand shoppers. Aldi's Happy Farms string cheese lines up almost exactly with Sargento and Frigo in blind taste tests, matching on texture and that signature peel-apart stretch kids love. But the real story is in the price math. Stick for stick, Aldi's version is about 21% cheaper than what you will pay at Walmart or Kroger, and that gap holds steady week after week. Nutrition panels are nearly identical, so you are not trading quality for savings. For families who go through a pack every week for lunches or after-school snacks, the annual difference adds up fast. It is a perfect example of how Aldi's dairy section quietly delivers both taste and value, proving you do not have to compromise even on the pickiest kid's favorite snack. Number 5 brings paper towels into the spotlight, and here the price per square foot math is impossible to ignore. At Aldi's, a roll costs about 2 cents per square foot, while the same basic roll at Walmart or Target averages 3 cents per square foot, a difference that stacks up to nearly 38% in savings. That gap is not just about the sticker price, it is about roll size and absorbency, which hold up well in independent ply strength tests. Aldi's private label rolls consistently match national brands for thickness and durability, so you are not sacrificing quality to save money. Over a year, those pennies add up every time you clean up a spill or restock your kitchen. For anyone who burns through paper towels in a busy household, this is one swap that delivers real savings, making Aldi the obvious choice for stretching your household basics budget. Number 4 puts trash bags under the microscope, a household basic where the price math is anything but trash. At Aldi, a roll of kitchen bags averages just 10 cents per bag, while the same count at Walmart or Target runs closer to 17 cents each. That is a 42% difference every time you take out the garbage. The savings are not just on paper either. Aldi's bags hold up well in strength tests, matching the puncture resistance and stretch of big-name brands, so you are not trading quality for price. With most households burning through a box every month, the extra cost of buying elsewhere becomes a steady leak in the budget. Over the course of a year, that gap adds up fast, making trash bags one of those quiet, recurring purchases where Aldi's shelf delivers real, measurable value. Number 3 brings dish soap into the spotlight, a small bottle that makes a big difference on repeat savings. Aldi's private label dish soap clocks in at about 12 cents per ounce, while the same size from Dawn or Palmolive at other stores averages 17 cents per ounce. That is a 28% gap every time you refill your sink. The secret is not just the sticker price, but the cleaning power packed into each ounce. Aldi's formula uses high-quality surfactants, so a little goes a long way, matching the grease-cutting action of the big brands without the premium. Whether you are scrubbing pans or rinsing lunch boxes, those extra pennies per ounce add up quickly over the course of a year. For households running dish duty daily, sticking with Aldi keeps cleaning costs on a shoestring, proving that even the basics can deliver steady, measurable savings. Number 2 puts laundry detergent in the spotlight, a household basic where price per load math shows its value and makes a real dent in your budget. Aldi's Tandil line routinely comes in about 40% cheaper per load than big names like Tide or even Costco's Kirkland, and that gap sticks whether you are buying liquid, pods, or powder. The secret is in the dosing. Aldi's HE formulas are concentrated, so you use less per wash, and the bottle's load count actually matches what is on the label. For a family running 5 or more loads a week, the annual savings can reach well into the triple digits just by skipping the flashy bottles and sticking with Aldi's private brand. When you break down the cost per clean shirt or towel, it is clear. Laundry detergent is one of those recurring expenses that quietly eats at your budget if you do not check the math. Aldi's shelf keeps it simple, effective, and reliably cheaper, making it a must for anyone serious about cutting down on the basics before the list's final reveal. And finally, in first place, milk from friendly farms is the silent budget buster hiding in plain sight. At Aldi, a gallon averages just 18 cents per ounce, while the same jug at other stores jumps to 24 cents or more. That gap adds up fast, with households losing $200 to $500 a year just by sticking to familiar brands or chasing sales elsewhere. Aldi's milk is RBST-free and matches national labels on nutrition and taste, but without the loyalty tax. For a product most families buy every week, this is where the biggest overspend happens, and where switching to Aldi delivers the single largest boost to your annual grocery savings. Across all 20 entries, one truth stands out. Everyday savings aren't about chasing flashy sales. They're about knowing where hidden markups add up, especially on staples like dairy. Aldi's private labels consistently undercut brand premiums and shrinkflation, putting real dollars back in your pocket. That pattern proves, in 2026, value isn't an exception, it's a choice. Which item surprised you most? Drop your thoughts below.